We are back at it again here with another video with the Invest for Tomorrow. To the first time viewers and investors, welcome to the channel. To all subscribers, welcome back. Here we are with the SPY, the SP 500 index, continuing to fight to hold support above the 430s here and breaking through key support levels. And in today's volatility, our SPY bot at 1:05 p.m. sent out a bear indicator, and from that moment forward, outflows crossed the midpoint to the downside. Pure weakness there on 42 vision, and put options went up 200% plus within an hour, guys. And if you guys want to receive this clarity and edge of the charts, you can now gain access to it as well. The link is down below in the description to the 42 vision indicators, getting connected over to our bots, and becoming part of a growing community of investors, all looking to learn and grow together by receiving this clarity and edge over the charts and using these resources to maximize in either direction, whether stocks are going up or going down. So here we are with the SPY, the SP 500 index, fighting to hold support. And in today's video, we're going to break down the key levels I would watch going into tomorrow and what's going on with the inflow versus outflow and bull and bear indicators. But before we do, I want to share with you guys the home run opportunity that was mentioned this morning over at the Discord. So the home run today was spectacular beyond expectations, and if you guys want to know about these stocks early on and receive this clarity and edge of the charts, you can now gain access to it as well. The link is down below in the description to the 42 vision indicators, getting connected over to our bots and becoming part of a growing community of investors, all looking to learn and grow together. So the home run today was from our Tesla bot. Our Tesla bot at 1:05 p.m. sent out a bear indicator, and from that moment forward, outflows crossed the midpoint to the downside. Pure weakness there on 42 vision, and put options went up 130% plus within an hour, guys. If you guys want to receive this clarity and edge of the charts, you can now gain access to it as well. The link is down below in the description to the 42 vision indicators, getting connected over to our bots. We look forward to having you join us, and we strive for opportunities like these every single day. Let's jump into these charts. So here we are with the SPY, the SP 500 index, doing a full transition from the rip area to the dip area in today's volatility. And if this is your first time coming across the channel, this is 42 vision, which allows us to see the dips from the rips to the dips, and where the strength and weakness lies within the charts. And we also use our bull and bear indicators and inflow versus outflow as an extra layer of confirmation, which I'm going to pull up here and you can now gain access to as well. The link is down below in the description to the 42 vision indicator, getting connected over to our bots and becoming part of a growing community of investors, all looking to learn and grow together by receiving this clarity and edge over the charts and using these resources to maximize in either direction, whether stocks are going up or going down. And in today's video, I'm going to pull up the inflow versus outflow indicator, which adds that extra layer of confirmation and gives us that edge within the volatility. So here we are with the SPY, the SP 500 index, under a bear indicator in the pre-market at the 437.92 area, and a bull indicator had popped up in the second half of the day yesterday. We were watching it at around the 434.80 area. I would just round that up to 435, and it broke out to highs here in the pre-market of 438, but quickly things started to pull downwards after the data came out. And then in the middle of the day, after one of the Fed speakers had spoken, things started to get pretty volatile. What's interesting is it continues to fight to get itself back above 434.50, 435 area, and that's definitely something to not ignore here as it's trying to transition back up. And we're going to look at the inflows in today's video, but right now it is under a bear indicator, and a full transition from the rip area, as I call it, to the dip area has happened here on the 30-minute chart. Now, if we zoom out and look at this from the 1 hour, we could go ahead and see here, it is the first bear indicator that pops up since the bull indicator from down here at around the 422.80 area, and that staircase effect had been strong for the last several days, and it hit a high up here of 438 before pulling downwards, right? So definitely something to not ignore here within the volatility of the bigger picture. The first bear indicator has popped up here at around the 436.96 area. I would just round that up to 437, and you could see that double rejection here in the middle of the day before pulling down all the way down towards 431 in today's volatility. Now, you could see the bulls fighting here, again, trying to get back towards 434, 435 area, and we're going to watch that going into tomorrow very carefully. That's one of the things I'm going to be watching very closely. Now, in the volatility of the 15-minute, we could see here how it had bear indicators dominating for most of the day and full transitions here into dip areas, and that bull indicator quickly got canceled, and we could see it once we pull up the inflow versus outflow, how short-lived the strength was for that bull indicator and how quickly it got rejected with a bear indicator at the 436.80 area that is dominating right now over the charts, right? And we could see on multiple time frames how it hit a dip area, and so far it's transitioned back up to red with green borders. The next piece missing would be a bull indicator, dark green bars, and bright green bars, as you see right here. Now, not guaranteed to do that full transition, but definitely something to not ignore after hitting this dip area, and it's trying to find support and bounce back up. Now, I'm going to pull up the inflow versus outflow and talk about the key levels I would watch going into tomorrow. So on the 30-minute, the inflow versus outflows, you could see how they were battling here in the middle of the day and quickly got rejected to the downside. And on the 15-minute, if we zoom into the volatility, it slightly crossed over and quickly came down as well. And in the after hours here in the volatility, it is trying to come back above the midpoint. Definitely something to not ignore. And then here on the 30-minute, the inflows are trying to pick back up, but they're still at negative 1.21. And this is something to not ignore as well, because outflows are still dominating here on the 30-minute. And in the bigger picture, on the 1 hour, outflows had not crossed until today significantly, right? They had a slight crossover yesterday, came back up while we were doing the video in the second half of the day into the after hours, but today it crossed over and it's hit negative 4.16. Definitely something to not overlook here in the charts, in the bigger picture, that outflows are dominating on all three time frames, except for the 15-minute. It just crossed over here in the last several minutes and hours, right? In the after hours. Now, what are the key levels I would watch? Well, the first thing is support, guys. And if these outflows come back down, and on the 30-minute, it continues to dominate, and the 1 hour, the first support here is the 431.50 area, where it found support and bounced back up. If that gets broken through, the next support I'll be watching is the 430 area, and then below that is the 428 to 425 levels. Now, to the upside, it's going to be crucial and critical here for these inflows to push up away from the midpoint, start to reflect that strength into these charts, and roll that strength over into the 30-minute as it's really close to the midpoint, as well as on the 1 hour, switch it from red to green and push it up towards the midpoint and reflect that strength as it retests key resistance levels. And the first resistance level here within the volatility is the 435.50 area. Then above that, I'll be watching the 437 area. And if these inflows were able to push away from the midpoint on the 15-minute, and if those transitions continued into dark green and bright green bars and get a bull indicator in the process, and on the 30-minute, same thing, and get these inflows to cross over the midpoint, that's going to be crucial and critical. And if 437 gets broken through, the next resistance I'll watch is the highest point that we recently reached, which was the 438.50 area. So these are the key levels I'll be watching to the upside and to the downside. The bull and bear indicators are going to be crucial, but the inflow versus outflows, I would not ignore them. They're below the midpoint on the 30-minute and the 1 hour. And on the 15-minute, it is back above. And it's going to be crucial to hold itself up and try to roll that strength over into the 30-minute as well, as it's really close to the midpoint. And I'm going to watch that very closely going into tomorrow. As always, guys, thank you guys so much for watching. And let's make some money.